The age-old question, what is the meaning of life? It's a question that has plagued philosophers and laymen alike for centuries. We find ourselves pondering this very question over a warm drink, don't we? We do love a good philosophical debate. We're here to discuss the rather profound concept of claiming your life. It's about taking the reins of your existence and declaring, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for. It's about crafting a life of purpose, a life filled with meaning, a life that resonates with your very soul. It's about recognizing that you, yes you, have the power to define what truly matters. Now, before we embark on this grand philosophical journey, let's first establish a starting point. Every intrepid explorer needs a compass, a guiding star, if you will. In this case, our North Star is the very concept of a philosophy of life. It's not some highfalutin concept reserved for dusty old academics. In its simplest form, a philosophy of life is a framework for understanding the world and our place within it. It's a set of beliefs and principles that guide our actions and shape our decisions. Think of it as a personal manifesto, a declaration of your values and aspirations. Without a philosophy of life, we risk drifting aimlessly, tossed about by the ever-changing tides of circumstance. Now, let's delve into this notion of a true North Group philosophy, shall we? Imagine, if you will, a group of individuals, much like ourselves, who have discovered the importance of a well-defined and tested framework for life. These are not people who simply drift through life, buffeted by the winds of change. The true North Group philosophy isn't about adhering to a rigid set of rules or dogmas. It's about crafting your own personal compass, one that is grounded in your values, your experiences, and your aspirations. It's about taking the time to truly understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and then using that knowledge to create a roadmap for a life well lived. For in discovering your true north, you unlock a sense of clarity, of purpose, of direction that can transform your life in profound ways. Now, a compass is only as good as the map it's used to navigate. And in the case of our true north philosophy, that map takes the form of our guiding principles. These principles, carefully chosen and deeply held, serve as our North Star, illuminating our path and helping us stay true to our course, even amidst the storms of life. They are the bedrock of our being, the non-negotiables that shape our decisions and guide our actions. The specific principles will vary from person to person, of course, for our maps are as unique as the individuals who craft them. Once you have identified your guiding principles, write them down, reflect upon them regularly, and most importantly, strive to live by them each and every day. Now, having a compass and a map is all well and good, but it's the act of navigation that truly matters. And in the context of our true North philosophy, navigation takes the form of intentional living. It's about making conscious choices, big and small, that align with our values and move us closer to our desired destination. It's about approaching each day with purpose, with a clear sense of what we hope to achieve and how we want to show up in the world. Intentional living is not about striving for perfection, mind you. It's about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns and trusting that our true north will always guide us home. Now, some might argue that a life of purpose is all well and good. But what about the day-to-day? What about the seemingly mundane activities that fill our hours? Can we truly find meaning in washing the dishes, attending tedious meetings, or commuting to work in rush hour traffic? You see, it's not necessarily the activity itself that brings meaning, but rather the spirit in which we approach it. Take gardening, for instance. One might view it as a chore, a necessary evil to maintain a tidy lawn. But another might find it deeply satisfying, a way to connect with nature, to nurture life, to create beauty. The activity is the same, but the experience, the meaning derived from it, is vastly different. It's about recognizing that even in the most ordinary of activities, there is an opportunity for growth, for learning, for connection. Now, it's important to note that meaning is not some monolithic concept that exists in a binary state of meaningful or meaningless. Rather, it's a spectrum, a tapestry woven together from countless threads of experience, each contributing to the richness and complexity of our lives. One might find profound meaning in their work, for instance, deriving a deep sense of purpose from their contributions to society. Another might find their greatest fulfillment in their relationships, in the love and connection they share with family and friends. There is no right or wrong answer, you see, for meaning is deeply personal and subjective. What matters is that we identify those activities, those relationships, those pursuits that ignite our souls, that make us feel truly alive, and that we prioritize them in our lives. Now, one of the most profound ways we can infuse our lives with meaning is by recognizing that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves. When we choose to live with intention, to act with kindness, to contribute to something larger than ourselves, we create a legacy that continues to touch the lives of others long after we're gone. Think of the teacher who inspires a student to pursue their dreams, or the artist whose work brings joy to countless hearts. These individuals, through their actions, their choices, their commitment to something larger than themselves, create a ripple effect that spreads outward, touching the lives of countless others in ways they may never fully comprehend. For in recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, in understanding that our actions have consequences that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence, we unlock a level of meaning and purpose that is both humbling and awe-inspiring. We come to realize that our lives, however fleeting, have the power to make a difference, to leave the world a slightly better place than we found it. Now, let's turn our attention to a rather intriguing school of thought known as Existentialism. The Existentialists, those contemplative souls, take a rather different approach to the question of meaning. They posit, you see, that life itself is inherently meaningless. There's no grand plan, no divine blueprint, no preordained purpose to which we must adhere. But the existentialists, they see it differently, for in the absence of inherent meaning, they argue, we are granted the ultimate freedom, the freedom to create our own meaning. We are free to choose our own values, to define our own purpose, to forge our own path through this grand and often perplexing journey we call life. We are the authors of our own stories, and the possibilities, my friend, are truly limitless. Now, with great freedom, as the saying goes, comes great responsibility. And the existentialists, they don't shy away from this weighty truth. They argue that we are not only free to choose our own meaning, but also responsible for the choices we make and the consequences that follow. This responsibility extends not only to ourselves, but also to others. For in choosing for ourselves, we are also choosing for all humankind. It's about recognizing that our choices have weight, that they matter, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. Now, some might argue that if life is inherently meaningless, then what's the point? Why bother striving? Why bother creating? Why bother engaging with a world that is ultimately indifferent to our efforts? The existentialists, they offer a rather compelling response to this existential dilemma. They suggest that we embrace the absurd. Now, by absurd, they don't mean to suggest that life is a joke or that our efforts are futile. Rather, they use the term to describe the inherent tension between our human desire for meaning and the indifferent nature of the universe. We seek meaning. You see, we crave it, but the universe doesn't provide it readily. So what do? We create it. Now, as we've journeyed through these various philosophical perspectives, you might have noticed certain recurring themes, threads of significance that weave their way through the tapestry of a meaningful life. These themes, my friend, transcend cultural boundaries, religious doctrines, and philosophical schools of thought. They speak to something deep within us, something fundamental to the human experience. One such theme is the pursuit of knowledge. From the ancient Greeks to the modern-day scientists, humanity has always been driven by a thirst for understanding, a desire to unravel the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. We find meaning in exploration, in discovery, in the expansion of our intellectual horizons. Let's delve a bit deeper into this notion of knowledge as a pathway to meaning. Now, when I speak of knowledge, I'm not simply referring to the accumulation of facts and figures. While there's certainly value in expanding our intellectual repertoire, true knowledge, the kind that nourishes the soul, goes far deeper. It's about seeking understanding, not just information. It's about connecting the dots, seeing the patterns, grasping the underlying principles that govern our world and our lives. And it's a lifelong pursuit, my friend, one that should never cease to challenge and inspire us. Section 3. The bonds of connection, finding meaning in relationships. Now, as much as we humans value our independence, we are, at our core, social creatures. We crave connection, belonging, a sense of shared experience. And it's in our relationships with others, those bonds of love, friendship and community, that we often discover the deepest and most enduring forms of meaning. Think about it, my friend. What brings greater joy than sharing a laugh with a loved one or offering a helping hand to a friend in need? What brings greater comfort than the embrace of family during times of sorrow, or the unwavering support of a community united in a common purpose? These connections, these relationships, they nourish our souls in ways that nothing else can. They remind us that we're not alone in this journey, that we're part of something larger than ourselves. And in that realization, in that embrace of our interconnectedness, we discover a profound sense of belonging, of purpose, of meaning that transcends the boundaries of our individual lives. The building blocks of belief, crafting your own philosophy. How do I begin to craft my own personal philosophy? It's a journey of self-discovery, introspection, and reflection. Engage in regular introspection. Reflect on your experiences and beliefs. What truly matters to you? What brings you joy? Draw inspiration from others. Read widely, engage in conversations. The more perspectives you explore, the more your philosophy will resonate with your values. Testing the waters, putting theory into action. A philosophy, like a well-crafted ship, is meant to be tested on the open seas. It's one thing to contemplate in comfort, but another to practice in everyday life. Test your philosophy, experiment and learn. Life is a grand experiment. Embrace growth and adaptability. A lifelong voyage, embracing the journey of self-discovery. Finally, as you embark on this lifelong voyage of self-discovery, remember that there is no finish line, no ultimate destination to reach. The beauty of crafting a personal philosophy lies in the journey itself, in the ongoing process of exploration, reflection and growth. So, be patient with yourself, my friend. Don't expect to have all the answers overnight. Embrace the uncertainty, the ambiguity, the inherent messiness of life. For it is in those moments of questioning, of searching, of grappling with life's big questions that we often stumble upon our most profound insights. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. Throughout history, countless individuals have grappled with these same questions, these same yearnings for meaning and purpose. Seek out their wisdom, find solace in their stories, and draw inspiration from their courage to live lives of intention, authenticity, and purpose. For in the end, my friend, the greatest adventure of all is the journey we undertake to discover who we truly are and what we are meant to do with this one precious life we've been given. A toast to the journey, embracing the quest for meaning. And so, my friend, we come to the end of our philosophical foray, our exploration of what it means to claim one's life. The quest for meaning is not a destination, but a lifelong pursuit, an ever-unfolding adventure. It's a journey fraught with challenges, but also brimming with possibility, joy, and purpose. The answers we seek reside within us, waiting to be unearthed. Cheers to the journey, my friend, and to the endless possibilities that lie ahead.